All right. So we are live here. Darren Austin Hall coming to you from my Druid Den here in Malpais, Costa Rica. And I'm really excited to be with you here today because it's my favorite day of the year. The winter solstice portal is truly such an amazing and magical day, and I'm really, really excited to share this blessing with you today on the winter solstice. I'm going to share some wisdom, and we're going to do some beautiful sonic mysticism, some sound channeling for you as well, because these solstice days, equinox, all these different portals that we go through throughout the year, they really configure us to a portal, an opening energetically, where lots of cosmic consciousness is streaming through, lots of insights and revelations can be had. And that's why it's a very favorable time to really open ourselves up to some mystical and spiritual practices to take advantage of this, as our ancient ancestors did, like the Celtic people who followed what's known as the Wheel of the Year, these 8 seasonal festivals with the 4 major ones, the equinoxes, the solstices, and then the mid-season festivals. So before we get into it, let's just tune in, shall we? I've got a little crystal bowl. You can't really see it, but let's tune in. So wherever you are, just finding a beautiful connection to your breath, breathing nice and deep, and let's just let out a few cathartic sighs, just releasing any tensions we may have in our mind, body, soul today. Let's breathe in together. You can close your eyes and just start to tune into yourself, letting that holy breath be a bridge for your awareness to cross over and begin to really become compassionately curious about your inner world, letting your loving awareness unfold within you with grace, with ease. And imagine that you're drawing in the vibrations of peace with each breath, breathing in a peaceful light that is assuaging, that is washing over every cell, every quantum of your being, drawing you into a beautiful energy of serenity and relaxation. And if you have the means to tone with me, I'm going to release 3 aums, the more traditional elongated aum sound, the A, the U, the M, as a salutation to our holy cosmos. So let's breathe in. Drawing in a few final conscious breaths of that great peace inside your being. You can open your eyes, coming back to the space. So the beautiful winter solstice, the celebration, as the Romans used to call it, of the unconquerable sun, the undying sun. And in northern climes, this is truly the beginning of winter, which is seen as a season of holy descent into, as Dylan Thomas, the great Welsh poet, called it, the holy darkness. So it is a time where we start to internalize a lot more and go into our inner world. And I've been really reveling in studying the works of this wonderful woman called Tanishka. If you haven't heard of her, she's written some incredible books on spiritual and mystical matters, and I highly recommend to all men especially, although I'm sure women would really revel in the wisdom of this book. It's called The Grail, and it's really an initiation for men into the feminine mysteries, which is a really powerful foundation, especially for men who love women, who are wishing to be or are in intimate relationships with them, because our partnerships, our conscious partnerships, are really important for the rebuilding of a culture of enlightenment and a truly sacred society that many of us are feeling called to help co-create. And the reason I bring up Tanishka's work is something that I learned in there was, of course, we're very well aware that women are very primed with the moon. You know, they cycle through the 13 moons of the year very quickly. And the moon, of course, every 2 to 3 days is moving through a different astrological sign. So women are really primed and really tuned in to transformational cycles. And men, holding the masculine, more of that yang energy, we tend to not be so, in that cycle of constant flux and flow. There's a steadiness to the masculine that is also really great and really consistent. But if there is one time of the year, because men are more ruled by the solar power, where men feel that kind of challenge that women can go through when they're bleeding, when they're really releasing and cleansing not only their soul, but the world's soul, it is during those autumn and especially winter months when the light of the sun in northern climes is much further away. So this is a time of year where men have to really, be aware and be prepared to have your practices with you, because you are going to be facing yourself. And this is why a lot of depression and even suicidal tendencies become highlighted amongst men and male communities during these seasons. But for those of us who are really wanting that descent, who really want to do that inner work, and this is why I love the winter and the winter solstice, is because it really is a time where you're given this blessed time to really hovel and be within and really be in your spiritual practices, to really slow things down, to be in that contemplation and that reflection, to look back on the year that's just passed. What are your victories? What are your follies? What have you really learned? And then as you take them into, at least in the Gregorian calendar year, you can take it through the New Year's portal. Although more of the ancient wisdom on the matter is more the spring is really the time when we blossom into the new cycles and we have that kind of turbo boost of that spring energy behind us. The winter is really more or less a time where we're supposed to be like actually in repose and taking stock of the fruits of our labors. What did we harvest this year? And start to create and formulate the dream seeds that we will then toss into the ethers of the world in the spring to really plant in the next, forward motion of things. So the winter solstice is also, as I mentioned at the top, the solstices and the equinoxes were celebrated by our ancient ancestors all over the world for thousands of years, because these were also seen as times when a portal really opens and our beautiful blessed earth, the earth goddess, our mother Gaia Sophia, is really pervaded with this incredible cosmic alignment and all these cosmic energies that come through. So rituals, prayer, any kind of spiritual work that opens us to receive these energies is very powerful. And a lot of these energies will be received as revelations, as insights. And so it's really good to work with this on the winter solstice, because those of you who are really into like intention setting for the new year, the solstice gives you that first, moment of being in this station of inner work where you can really hone in on all these energies and get some really appropriate illumination on what are the things that you need to work on, or some insights about the universe, which can be very profound, because we're all oracles and we're supposed to be in this process of gnosis, of divine knowing. So as we do the little sound journey at the end, we'll open up a space for you to be in that reception. The beauty of the winter solstice as well is also, as I mentioned, it's the time of celebrating the undying sun. In the northern hemisphere, this is when it appears that the sun is furthest away, hence why we get colder climate, colder winter. It appears that the winter the sun is furthest away from the earth. But this is actually the amazing pivot moment when the sun starts to make its comeback as well. And that kind of pivot back is that kind of resurrection energy that we've seen so many avatars like Horus and Yeshua, Jesus, be connected to, which is really speaking to the eternity of the soul and also the resilience of our character, that no matter what adversity we go through in life, if we face it if we face it as the buffalo spirit does, face it frontally, and really accept this as the terms of existence, that we go through these challenges on the karma to dharma road to really exercise more of the powers of our soul and our slumbering consciousness. This is really a time when we can honor that resilience of our souls and be in that process of rebirth with the sun. It's a very magical time because it really is saying that death is really just a door. It's a transformational moment. It's not the end of things. And the winter solstice really carries that incredible mystical potency to it. And I believe that's why the Christians also slated Jesus' birthday, which I believe is historically more in March or May, but they put it next to the winter solstice because this energy is really one of the most potent energies of the year. And it really is about that rebirth of the light, which avatars and great masters like Yeshua were really embodying as human beings, like shining this great light onto the world, into the darkness of our ignorance to really awaken us. So the winter solstice is really that light that goes into the great dark to bring also like some deep shadow work and to make us feel this faith that no matter how dark things get, the light will never be snuffed out. It will never be fully extinguished. It's so resilient. And actually, when times are the darkest, that's when the light can appear its most radiant. And that really bolsters our faith in the divine and all these divine elements to our great, beautiful universe. So as you can see, there's a lot of holy things that are constellated on this day, and hence why it is such a powerful day to do our inner work. So without any further ado, I'm going to lead us into a little sacred sound ritual. Sound and music are, of course, nourishment for our souls because we are truly vibrational beings. So let's tune in. Let me get this Shruti box going and this crystal bowl that I have. There we go. So let's tune in again, shall we? So wherever you are, if you have the means to lie down even, or just sit straight in a beautiful meditative posture. And once again, begin to close your eyes. Begin to tune yourself to your beautiful inner world. And let your loving awareness begin to just expand and unfold throughout your blessed being. And I'm going to invite you now to take your awareness into the center of your chest, into your holy, blessed heart. You can imagine that your heart is shining just like the sun, this bright, radiant light, the spark of source that is the essence of your soul, shining in the holy darkness. As we connect to the radiance and the energies of this cosmic alignment, the winter solstice sun, exuding its resiliency, its eternity, and its allegiance to the earth to help nourish all of us beautiful life forms here on this sacred planet that is our Blessed Mother. And imagine opening your heart to receive, to go on a vision journey, to receive the great wisdom of this winter solstice blessing. Taking a few conscious, beautiful, holy breaths once again into your belly and into your heart. As you start to bring yourself back into this space. And drawing your hands together in a gesture of union, uniting left, right, lunar, solar, masculine, feminine energies of your being. As you bow in to that great light in your heart, bowing in and giving thanks to whatever you may have received. And you can release this beautiful gesture, coming back to the space. So thank you for joining me today on this winter solstice blessing. I want to leave you with one final beautiful teaching as we enter into happy Christmas Day, or Christ Consciousness Day, as some of my friends would say. The ancient Gnostic mystery schools, which I'm very much a student of, they believed that the energy of Christ, the energy of Christ consciousness, is really about a remembering, about our essence, about what it really is to be a human being. And I do believe in these great awakening times that we're living in, that is still very much a mystery, and a beautiful mystery for us to discover. And as we further on into this Aquarian age, I believe the divinity of the human soul, the essence of our being, will become more illuminated to us. And so it is a time of year to also spend with your blessed consciousness, to unplug a little more from computers and distractions, and make sure you're spending some time in the vigil of your beautiful soul, which is being so activated right now and will continue to be as this Christ consciousness continues to land and be embodied on earth. And the last thing I'd like to share is that if you want to join me this Sunday for another blessed offering online, I'm going to be launching my Source Resonance Academy, my sound healing school, this Sunday. And I'll be doing it with this beautiful class called The Winged Voice, which will be a mixture of vocal alchemy, sound healing meditations, empowering ourselves through vocal toning and chanting. It'll be at 7 till 8:30 Eastern. You can find the link on my profile, and it's free, and it'll be on Zoom, but you do have to register to be there. And once the Academy launches, I'm going to have this beautiful membership portal called Vibration Nation, and the Winged Voice will be a bi-weekly contribution to that. So there'll be lots of ways to stay connected online and to really explore this beautiful paradigm of sound healing, which is soul and universal medicine, and has shown up for a reason at this time of holy shift. So thank you again for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful winter solstice, whatever you're doing today, and sending you so much love from my Druid Den here in Costa Rica. May the source be with you, and may the infinitude of love be embodied in your hearts. Many blessings to you.